Hey everyone, we've got a kicker themed deck ready to go today. I said that I was looking forward to playing Roost of Drakes, and so we are. This deck's been doing decently. I don't think it's a meta breaker or anything, but it's fun to play, and it's interesting to pilot. So we're gonna go over this one while I still try and figure out some more of the meta and how things are changing up with the Uro ban. Um, and this deck's not really anything revolutionary. It's basically you type in kicker in the search box and put in all the cards that say kicker. Um, our primary win condition is Roost of Drakes, making as many tokens as we need to win, while stalling them with Into the Royal. We've got plenty of creatures that will work with kicker as well as with Inscription of Abundance. So I guess I'll just go through the cards card by card. Roost of Drakes is obviously the most important one. This is a 1-cost enchantment. Whenever we kick a spell, we'll get a 2/2 Drake. And they play very nicely with each other. If you have one Roost of Drakes down and you kick a second one, you get 2 Drakes. And you get 2 Drakes every time you kick a spell. Just very good value. Bubble Snare is a 1-cost enchantment that keeps the guy from untapping. Plus, you get to kick it if you want to tap down their creature and maybe make a Drake. It's a good deal for its removal. I like it at the 1 cost a lot because it lets you kind of keep up with your opponents no matter what tempo they're going at. If they're going to play an aggressive 1-drop, you can just bubble snare it and you'll take 1 hit from it and then you're done. So it lets you play at whatever speed you really need to. Very strong end game top deck in my opinion, so I like Bubble Snare a lot. Into the Royal is a classic. This is a reprint that was very good last time it was in Standard as well. 4 mana to return a permanent to their hand, and you draw a card. And you get a Drake if you got a Rooster Drakes out. Theming Skydiver is one of our creatures. X can't be 0, but you can kick it for 1. Even if they don't have an artifact, that means that you'll get a 2/1 and a 2/2 flyer if you have a Rooster Drakes out. Plus, sometimes you run into artifact decks. There are still adventure decks out there that run Lucky Charms, so being able to grab a Lucky Charm or like a Maul of the Skyclave if you run into those pesky Seasoned Hollowblade decks. You can sometimes just get some great value off of it. And sometimes it's just a 2 on flyer, which is okay for 2. But being able to kick it, it's very nice because there's a couple of things that care about the kicking. We've got Inscription of Abundance, and this is why it's important for us to have creatures in this deck, because it will put 2 counters on a creature, you gain X life, or creature fights a creature you don't control. This is our best removal spell. It's the only one that actually kills the creature. Our only other removal basically is Into the Royal and Bubble Snare. But Inscription will fight something and grow one of our creatures if we have enough mana, and 5 is pretty affordable. Since a lot of what we do is stall and tap down stuff, getting to 5 mana is pretty reliable, at which point you can start dealing with their threats. You just have to make sure that your own creatures are alive in order to use it. So that's the big trick with Inscription, is making sure you have a density of creatures. It can be a little hard if you don't have a Roost of Drakes, but if you do have a Roost of Drakes, you usually have a 2/2 that you can pump up to a 4/4 and then eat something. So I like Inscription a lot. Vine Gecko is another very solid creature. It's kind of this deck's Lotus Cobra and how much work it does. It's a 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, you get a counter, and he reduces the cost of your first kicker spell by 1 if you're kicking it. So you can very easily go Vine Gecko turn 2. If they don't kill it, turn 3, any of your 4-cost kickers, of which there are several. You got Bubble Snare at 4, Into the Royal at 4, and Rooster Drakes at 4. So it curves out really nicely, and really helps you play several spells in a single turn later in the game to make sure that you're not getting overwhelmed by your opponent. And then we've got Verizal, the Split Current. This is one of those hydras that is just as big as you spend mana on it, so that's very nice. It's a nice creature that scales however much mana you have to sink into it. It makes a decent body. But it's also got the ability that you can remove 2 counters on it to copy a kicked spell. It's a triggered ability, not activated, so you can only do it once per kicked spell, but it's still very, very solid. I frequently will play out Verizal on turn 2 or turn 3 as a 2/2 or 3/3, just to have a creature in play, and then have the option to get a double kick spell shortly thereafter. Like turn 3 Verizal into turn 4 double Roost of Drakes, very, 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 very good. The big problem with Verizal is he usually just dies, and there's not much you can do about that. This deck doesn't pack counter spells. You just kind of have to stall for time, eat through what removal they have, and try and stick something. But we'll move on to our next and last creature, Coral Helm Commander. When he comes in, he gets a kicked card or a kicker card from the top of your deck. Top 5 cards, you get to choose whichever one of those you want. I haven't whiffed with him, but I have found many times where it's just 1, maybe 2 options. So it's not a lot of card selection, but it's a card replacement. It gives you something. And digging for Roost of Drakes is really good because, like I said, it's the win condition here. But also, when you kick a spell, you can draw a card and discard a card, which can help you find more lands or filter out your lands if you've got enough. I'm playing with Jace Mirror Mage. I'm not sure this is the right call, to be honest. He's really, really underwhelmed me at 3 mana. I think you'd rather just straight up cast Divination or the Field Research, which is the kicker version of Divination, at 3 mana. He's pretty impressive at 5 mana, so I'm on the fence. He's been fun to play with, so might as well throw him in. But if you want to swap him out for some other card slot, I think that's perfectly justified. He's a source of card selection. He can help you filter into the lands that you need to top deck in order to get to your kicked cards, things like that. And then finally, Inscription of Insight is a very expensive but pretty high-powered kicker card. It's so expensive that I cut it down to 2 copies just because it's hard to get the value out of. And frequently, I'm normally tempted just to play it at 4 as a double unsummon, which is not what I wanted it for, so you might be better off cutting, this and the Jace for some other 4 of. That'll be more consistent for you. But this will bounce things, draw cards, and then create a big creature. It's just a lot of good value. And it stalls, which is what you kind of need while you're trying to get your Roost of Drakes engine going. We got some lands. I'm running Temple of Mystery because I wanted a little more color consistency here. I have 1 Throne of Makindi. I'm playing it because I have it. I don't think it's a great card, but I'm testing it out. This is probably just better served as another forest in my split here. But if you have a dead turn, it can ramp you 1 mana, which can be very nice. If you're stuck on 3 lands, being able to get up to your 4th mana to kick something, pretty important. And it does help color fix at that point. And then for double-faced lands, I've been playing with the numbers on these, and I actually don't really like them a whole lot. Like, I had 4 Balagad Recoveries and 4 Kazandu Mammoths, but I just wanted my stuff to come in untapped, because hitting certain thresholds was really important to stay in the game. If you're missing your 4th land drop, then you can fall pretty far behind with this deck, so I've kept it pretty minimal. I do like Balagad as a recovery as a card a whole lot, because it will get back a selection of kicker cards that will be very good for you. And 3 is not too much to pay for that effect. Getting something, if you're buying time with your Roost of Drakes, then getting free cards back from your discard pile is going to do a lot for you. Kazandu Mammoth is actually it's obviously just a really solid card. Decent creature that can take up a land slot. It's good. It probably should be 4 Balagad Recoveries, personally, because we don't really... This is not an aggressive deck. This landfall 5/5 trigger is good for attacking and not so much for blocking, so I could see the argument for playing these as Balagad Recoveries instead, which is probably my suggestion. I had Seagate Restorations in here, but I felt like that wasn't the right approach, so I'm trying Celindy Visions instead. This will help get us an instant or sorcery. Now that I'm looking at the deck a little bit more, the Vision's probably not the right call either, because there's not that many instant or sorceries. A lot of our kickers are enchantments. Yeah, I don't see Celindy Visions doing very good for us either. So let's just play some live ones instead. I do think that the double-face cards are very strong. I just don't like them a whole lot for this deck. In fact, since I'm here saying it, let's just go ahead and do the changes that I was thinking of, and that should be good. You could try Turn Timber Symbiosis in here. Getting like a Vine Gecko would be pretty sweet. For 7 mana, I'm not sure it's that sweet, but taking the place of a land is not bad. Yeah, I've been having fun with this deck, so let's play a few games and see if we can get any wins, or see if we get stomped by Omnath. I've had some matchups against the new Omnath deck with this, and it's done okay. It's a little rough, but when the Drakes get out of control, it can be hard to stay alive, even if they're gaining 4 life a turn. You know, 5 2/2 Drakes is a considerable chunk of damage. So we don't have green, and we've just got the Throne of Makindi here. I'm not thrilled with this hand. No Roost of Drakes. I'm just going to mulligan it. We've got our colors here. And toss back one of these inscriptions. It's not a good hand, but it's better than the other one. Alright, we got Into the Royal. Not really trying to beat down our opponents, so I'm just going to play the Thieving Skydiver. Alright. Took 2 lands off the top for us. It's good. Or 2 non-land. Well, no land, so that's unfortunate. So here's the deal. If I play Thieving Skydiver, then our opponent can play the 1/3, and the Skydiver won't really be relevant. I'm just going to hold Into the Royal. Didn't do the Skydiver. Interesting. I'm just going to buy us some time. He apparently was worried about a flash creature because he didn't swing with the Thieves Guild Enforcer. Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna play the Thieving Skydiver. Since he tapped out, I'll get a creature in play. He goes for the Scavenger again, of course. Take some of our lands. It's no good. And cool, he spent removal on the Skydiver. So we could Into the Royal the Scavenger, or we can Bubble Snare the Scavenger. Ultimately, I want to Bubble Snare the Scavenger, but Into the Royal is probably the better play here, since it draws us the card. Or we could just go ahead and Inscription of Insight. I'm not really worried about the damage from the Enforcer right now. We really just need to draw some cards. There's a Roost of Drakes. Great. We're on the right track. If our opponent is not playing the Feed the Swarm that destroys enchantments, then we may be okay. Maybe. See, this is a matchup where I don't like Verizal. We're probably going to take a bit of pain here. He's going to probably Drown in the Lock. Drown in the Lock will also destroy our Roost, so that's unfortunate. He doesn't kill our blocker. Maybe doesn't feel the need to. So we'll go ahead and try... This looks like Drown in the Lock mana to me, but regardless, we're getting Drakes. Yeah. So if he wants to counter that rather than our Roost, then that's really fine with me. Double block here seems risky, but if he uses removal, then he uses removal. We're still blocking the damage. Next turn I can Inscription of Insight to buy us some more time. Oh, we just get the Scavenger. Alright. Would really like a land here. I think it's another Scavenger, or another guy. Another guy. Alright. I think we're gonna die. We just haven't been able to draw any lands. Yeah, I mean, we can bounce it to the hand, but he'll just replay them, and we didn't get any progress, so I'll concede. Nighthawk Scavenger is a very good card, as I have said previously. And we kind of got stuck on our lands. That's okay. If he had double Scavenger, I think he was entirely wrong not to use the Drown on the Lock on the Roost of Drakes. Lose one Scavenger, sure. You can still keep beating in and just replay your new Scavengers. Okay, this seems like a good hand to me. We may end up being able to play this Balagad Recovery since we've got 3 lands here. It's a bit slow, but this deck's a bit slow. We don't really have any immediate turn 1 or 2 plays that we need to make. Vine Gecko is an excellent card. Opponent is playing Teamer, so we're probably seeing some variant of the Adventure deck and or Omnath. They pair pretty well together. See if we get turn 1 or turn 2 Ruin Crab land. Oh, no Ruin Crab. Trap Finder. Interesting. I haven't seen anyone playing a Trap Finder. We're gonna try this Gecko. Don't have any good 4-cost kickers that we can really play because we're on tap lands here. Base camps. This is the party deck. Oh, Roost of Drakes will be very good, I think. Okay, so we do get it. Go ahead and kick it. So the game, by the way, if you try this deck out, the game does not tell you can kick it. You have to manually select it anyways. And we get some value. Now his Trap Finder becomes unblockable, but the rest of his party does not. Okay, well, he's got most of his party assembled. I'm pretty good getting lands here. So we're going to just bounce the Emeria, I think. Maybe the Trap Finder. I don't know. But it's definitely going to be into the Royal. And actually, if he's playing... He may be playing protection spells here. Because you have to be careful for your party. So I'm actually just going to do this while I can. I don't want to get Sajiri protectioned here. So we're still taking damage from the Trap Finder, but we're doing okay, and I'll be able to Inscription of Abundance next turn to eat the Trap Finder. Or there's a Verazal. Might buy myself another turn. I probably should have played that. No, I can keep the Balagad Recovery. Questions. I'm just gonna swing. I doubt he'll take the trade here, but we can get some damage in. Alright. Kicker. Let's put 2 counters on this guy. We'll gain 4 life, and we'll fight there. I'm doing it before combat damage because we're going to get the counter on the Gecko. I kind of wanted to put it on the Gecko just for the extra damage, but being able to trade this 1 Drake with the Emeria Captain is pretty good. He might be playing Bounce, in which case he'll be able to kill off our buffed Drake, but I think it's okay. Alright, we lose the Gecko. He's had enough of that. It's fine. We definitely got our value there. That helped us play so many spells without having all the appropriate mana. Alright, so we can... I think now would be a good time to Verazal. Or maybe now is a good time to Jace. Let's Jace. Let's have some fun. Kicker. Alright, so we scry with the small Jace. I'll take an island. I don't want to, I don't think. We'll draw. No attacks. We're not really in a hurry. Maybe our opponent will do some Thwart the Grave shenanigans that will really blow us out later. But right now I think we're doing okay. This has vigilance, so we can't read too much into him attacking with it. Okay, he's gonna kill a 2/2. Oh, he's gonna kill a Jace. Sweet.
Unexpected variable.
An unexpected variable. I think one of his other voice lines talks about data analysis too. I like the Planeswalker voice line stuff. Okay, so we're going to just make a big Verizal here, I think is without a doubt what we want. What's Scry? I think digging 2 to find good stuff is pretty solid. And then we're going to pay 4 for X. And if this sticks around, then we're in a really good spot. Because we'll be able to start copying a lot of things. I think keeping this Balgate recovery is... I don't know. I'm just going to play it. That gets us closer to Inscription of Abundance mana. Alright, he's going to gain some life and refill his hands. Got a nice big game going here. Archpriest. Alright, so he's got Warrior, Wizard, Cleric. He has a full party now, so he can start flinging things into the air to attack. Which is pretty cool. Oh, he's got the coveted prize. Alright, is he gonna kill us? Did he win? See if you figured out the Allies deck before I built it. You might just get Thwart the Grave. Won't be able to cast it immediately, but good recovery. Makes him able to attack. Squad Commander. Alright. Makes a bunch of tokens. I can make a lot of tokens too, sir. You gonna attack? Does not have a black to play Deadly Alliance, so that means that we should be getting into the Royal here. Oh, he does have a black. Okay. Deadly Alliance. Cool. Oh, they get indestructible. I see. I see. It's pretty scary. Not gonna lie. He goes all for Jace. You know, I really don't care about Jace, man. You can have it.
I'd rather forget this fight.
Alright, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I cannot kick this and into the Royal. I can, right? I can 2 here and then 3 on his turn. Yeah. Cool. That gets us some Drakes, and then we into the Royal his Squad Commander, I guess, because that's terrifying. Which means I have to swing like this. I've got to start putting some damage on him, because he's going to be able to keep replaying his Squad Commander for all the value. Alright, so I want to do this before his combat step. Oh, I'm just a turn too late to take that mace. Okay. I think that's fine. Alright. I guess there's not a window for that, is there? There isn't. Alright, that's really annoying. Well, this is gonna stink. Alright, so how much damage is actually coming at us? If I bounce this, I'm taking 4, 7, 12... Yeah, 12, 16, 23. Still, I'm pretty sure that you bounce this. And I've got a block. Ooh, that's Thieving Skydivers. Not bad. I don't think it's going to be at all what we need, though. Yeah, there, that'll leave me at 1, and I can swing back for 6, 10, 14. Not quite enough. Not 1. If I get an Inscription of Abundance, I have no creatures in my party. I'll have 1 creature in my party. If I have Inscription of Abundance, I'll be able to fight the squad commander, so that's our play. I haven't really counted. How many creatures does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got plenty of tokens. And we gain life like this too. So we'll put the counters on the gecko, target a player, me, creature we control. We'll fight the squad commander. That was a really good squad commander, man. I didn't realize how good that card was. And we're playing a very removal white deck, so I don't think we need more lands. So this is going to bring us back from the brink of death. And then we can get in for significant amounts of damage. Now, if he has another squad commander, we might be in a bit of trouble. Zagreus is a bit of trouble. Things with everyone. Alright. Let's see. So I'd like to double block Zagreus. We'll start there. I mean, their guys aren't indestructible anymore. They just have Death Touch. So this lets 6 through. This lets 6 through. And leaves him with almost nothing. And me with almost nothing. Alright, so we obviously will be taking this mace. Which gives us a token blocker. Alright, and then I can equip the mace to get to 9, 11. That is lethal. Oh, I don't have wrong colors. Alright, fine. Oh man, look at all this value. No, we'll be casting that next turn. Alright, let's see if he kills us. I don't think Zagreus does it. Linvala. Would have been good last turn. Linvala's a great card. Alright, very close game. That pulled out a lot better than I expected. I liked his allies build. Extremely shaky on colors, though. You're playing 5-color allies? I don't think that flies. Especially since I didn't see any, like, Cultivate or anything. But let's go a game or two more, depending on how long this one takes. Yeah, playing both Zagreus and Linvala. Did he have green in there? I guess it was 4-color. He didn't play any green. No, he did. He had the Paragon, 5-color allies. All right. Wonder if he had the Pack Beast in there for the color filtering. I'll take this. It's got most of my favorite cards in it. Alright, we did it. victory is assured with a hand as good as this. Didn't even get to play my island. I've seen some people just instant concede the moment you play a Ruined Crab. They're like, I don't want to play against this, so I won't. I guess that's what you get when you're playing in the play queue, though. There's no penalty for losing, so you can just concede until you get a hand you like. I like this a lot less, but the Temple of Mystery might scry us to victory. That's not a land, so get out of here. Also not a land, but a good card. Go, Vine Gecko, bring us victory. Blue-black. Alright, goodbye, Vine Gecko. It was nice knowing you. No land off the top. We're in real trouble. Go ahead and get a creature down. Well, I think our better play actually is the Roost of Drakes. We get it resolved this way, and then if we get a land next turn, we can get a Drake and a Thieving Skydiver. That's a clearly superior play for us. Opts. I've seen some decks that are just pure removal and spells. It's really annoying, but it seemed to do pretty well. And I guess there's not, like, Celindy Visions kind of really encourages that. Land? Land off the top? That's not a land. Alright, I think we've lost. I think we're gonna lose. Fairy Vandal. Alright. Opt. Alright. Oh, I've seen this morph deck before. I'm not familiar with it. Okay. So, I think we just bubble snare it, right? Not gonna get countered. Oh, we don't have the kicker for bubble snare because we lost the thing. We lost our gecko. We'll just make a pair of blockers. He can Mogus his favor the Skydiver, but we'll still be able to trade through the Vandal. If he mutates the Vandal, then I guess we can just bubble snare it. Mogus his favor. And mutate. Nope. Nope. Yes. No. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. Yes. No. No. Polylog Symbiote. Alright, we did get a land. That's nice. Let's see. I mean, I guess we just do the Chronicler. This double Symbiote is going to be pretty annoying, because these decks, if I recall, basically just use Dirge Bats to kill all your blockers, and the Hemophages that drain life when you mutate. So now that he's gotten his mana, he can just keep doing that. And unfortunately, our bounce spells just put those back in his hand for repeated value. So what we really need is Inscription of Insight. Oh, and we miss with the Coral Helm. Alright. So basically now he goes Doombat or Dirge Bat, kills our Drake and starts beating in. Or Dream Heron he could do. That explains the Fairy Vandal. Nice. But he hasn't seemed to draw it, so actually it might be a good time to just go Jace Mirror Mage. I don't think his deck plays counter spells. Put some pressure on. Discard a card. I don't think I want inscription here. I really would like some free lands. Would be really cool. Yeah. You got it. Free land ahoy. No attackers. I'm sure you can make a play that'll let him attack here. It's just... I think that's fine if he wants to do something impressive and swing. Yeah, now he gets to start filtering for his dirge bats. But since we're getting lands, we can just start bubble snaring stuff and getting a bunch of drakes and putting the pressure on. Alright, no bat. Let's continue the scry train. Actually, both of those seem really good to me. You go ahead and get one of them.
Aha! Just what I was looking for.
So I can use this to double bubble snare right now. I don't think that's the best use of my mana, though. Oops. I think I just want a single bubble snare on his Vandal. We have 1, 2 mana available. I kind of want all of these. Yeah, actually, we'll just get rid of Verizal. I've got some blockers. He can make some attacks now if he wants, but I'm pretty happy just getting damage in. He can replay this Mogus's favor, so an attack from the Polylog Symbiote kills whatever it hits because it'll deal a damage, and then he can -1 it, but that's a-okay. Alright, he's double C-dashing. He really just hasn't drawn the gas he needs to kick this into overdrive. Maybe he's got it with this last card, though. But he needs that bat. Interesting that he chose for the card there. Alright, so I've got 7 mana. Let's go ahead and scry here. I think I want a Vine Gecko. Go ahead and draw. Bubble Snare. Nice and cheap.
Now here's an interesting idea.
Alright, look at all these options. Inscription is what I would like. And then we can... I think we can just get a bunch of damage in. Can't really inscription yet, so we're going to hold up into the royal mana. Oh, okay, we won. Yeah, we'll wrap it up there. I like the deck. It's got, if you don't die very quickly, and if you can hit your 6th and 7th land drop, the deck performs pretty well. It's got a lot of steam to it, as kicker decks you would expect to. They kind of scale well into the end game, and Roost of Drakes is just an insane card. I don't see anyone playing enchantment removal right now. I recall saying at the beginning of the spoilers for this set that enchantment removal would be very important. That was because of the Felidar retreat, and I actually don't see a lot of retreat going on right now. So I kind of agree with not running enchantment removal, but I think as the format evolves, we'll start seeing more of it. Especially if Roost of Drakes decks start taking off. Like, this does fine. I bet someone that was a better Magic player than I am could whip this into better shape. I am not great at making these sorts of choices of should I hold off now or invest, or, what should I be playing? Should I wait for all the value? Typically, I wait for all the value and die because I didn't play my turn 1 bubble snare sort of deal. So a better pilot could probably do even better with this deck. And tweaking the deck would probably take out Inscription of Insight. I think they're just a little too slow. But this deck does refill its hand okay with Coralhelm Commander. So you can get to like 8 lands with a couple cards left in your hand for a big illusion token. With regards to the spell lands like Balagad Recovery, I think Balagad's a really good card, but I almost always want lands for this deck. Like, even when I was able to cast Balagad Recovery and still play other cards, I was like, I just kind of want another land instead, and played it. So you could probably be justified in taking other recoveries. The one thing I could say for this deck is it's good to have creatures out, and your creatures die pretty easily, so it might be worth it to run some sort of like negate or concerted defense, just to keep your Vine Geckos and Verazal safe. I guess Shell Shield. That's the card. Play Shell Shield. That way you can go turn 3 Vine Gecko with a blue up, and then you'll have Kicker and Hexproof for it. Because the Shell Shield will only cost 1 thanks to the Gecko. I think that's the card that'll work here. You should probably do something like... I don't know. I really like the Skydivers. And those Jaces actually did pretty good for us. I think they really helped keep us in the game against the last deck we played. When they kind of stumbled, they had the potential to ramp back into the game pretty quickly, but Jace kept us fueled and ready if they did do that. So I actually do like these Jaces. If you can stabilize is the catch there. I don't know. I kind of want 4 Shell Shields, but at the same time, I don't know what I would cut. Maybe go like a Chronicler down and a Skydiver down. Maybe a Bubble Snare. I've really enjoyed the Bubble Snares though, so I'd probably do something like that. Just to fit 4 Shell Shields in. And honestly, I would probably take these Balagad Recoveries out. It's just nice to hit untapped land drops. Or run a duel. This deck is a little weak in that it needs double blue really consistently, because having 1 blue means you can't kick any of your blue spells. And you really, really have to. All of these are unkickable without more blue sources, so probably... I guess you could run more McKindeys. Could run Cycling. I feel like Cycling's not the right approach here, but of all the duels, it's probably the best one. You might be able to run the Castle Varanthos. Is that... That's not it. Castle Vantress, sorry. You might be able to run Castle Vantresses in here. We run enough islands for it, but I don't know how many times I would have the mana to use Castle Vantress rather than Into the Roiling or something like that. It's a pretty mana-hungry deck, so good value, but I don't see myself actually doing it. You run Castle Garenbriggs for maximum Varanthal damage, or Verazal damage. But yeah, this is the deck. I think it's been performing pretty well. It's a lot of fun to play. You get a lot of options. Have to really figure out how you want to pilot it. And you can make some pretty powerful plays. Even when your opponent's kind of running away with the game, you can hang in there pretty well. The Drakes present just a growing threat that keeps you always threatening to kill your opponent if they get greedy, which is a nice place to be, because decks do get greedy in this environment. There's a lot of payoff cards, a lot of top-end things. Even something as simple as that Core Warrior. He attacked really aggressively when he didn't have lethal, which put us in a tight spot, but we were able to climb back from it. because he tapped out. Like, we almost just killed him then and there. So it's a very versatile deck in my opinion, and I enjoyed playing it. Hopefully you guys liked it. We'll have more draft for you on Monday and something next week. A guy kind of stole my thunder with his party deck, but I still intend to put one together, so that might be my next project, is how to kill your opponent immediately with coveted prize. And honestly, core warrior, that warrior scout commander, that's a pretty good solution. I'm not sure I'm going to find anything better than that. Getting all your guys indestructible immediately and letting you swing in presents a really good threat, so I like it. So we'll see you next week.